As terms of dislikes, I know I've said I like what they're doing with Sephiroth, but I still also like the old way where he was far more of a mystery. He's more in your face and kind of a mystery in the remake. But I don't know. I like the more reveal in the original than I do in this one because Sephiroth is like first 20 minutes of the game, like the first prolonged cutscene. When Cloud's going through the ruin after the first reactor, Sephiroth's there taunting him, and it's exciting, but I still like the who is this guy aspect from the original.
I I I sort of feel the same, but I sort of have a counterpoint. Um, so you and I both played Final Fantasy VII back in the heyday on the PS1. So, going through Shinra, going through the start of the game, watching Cloud get the headaches, you only ever read the name Sephiroth. And you found out that Sephiroth was disgustingly strong and he could do as he pleased and no one could stop him. And he was even the fear of the upper echelon of Shinra. Um, and in this game, I feel like we're a little disassociated because we've played it before and we know who Sephiroth is and we know who's scary. So if you were to put yourself in the shoes of somebody that was, completely had no idea about this franchise, they had no clue about Sephiroth, they had no idea who he was. They would see, well, who's that silver-haired guy? Why does Cloud keep getting headaches? Why is Cloud so afraid? And why am I following him? Why does he always show up when the atmosphere wants me to be scared? Uh, I th- I think what they did narratively was fine. But to sort of jump back where you're at, to stop playing the devil's advocate, I do agree. They did pull away a little bit of the mystery that was Sephiroth.
I think the route they go with him in this one, um, probably because he is a cultural icon, especially among video game nerds and anime people. Um, I guess they were thinking this would, I mean, give them more is probably what they were thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It does work for this story because fundamentally it's the same story, but there's drastic differences, especially towards the end. Um, but do you have any dislikes? I guess mine wasn't really a dislike, but just difference of opinions or something. But do you have any dislikes from the game?
Um, I think my biggest dislike was with the side missions. I genuinely enjoyed them. I'm happy they were added, but I felt like during a lot of the side missions, particularly the one in Sector 5, where you have to go find the angel of the slums, I think that was her name. Uh, your marker for the quest objective stays in the same place where you start, and I felt very like, what do I do? Where am I supposed to go? Um, and I felt that more than once in one of the quests. I mean, I could very well just be bad, and that's that's totally fine. But I felt that more than once. Like, where do I go? What do I do?
No, I know exactly what you mean. It just reminded me that that is something I had a problem with. Like, can I just have one wayfinder for the quest I'm actually active on instead of being like, here's all these quests, and now figure out which one you need to actually go to. I mean, grant you could do all the quests simultaneously to a point,
Hmm.
but as if you wanted to prioritize it, they made it more difficult by having multiple wayfinders, and also the fact where the wayfinder wasn't necessarily where you need to go, but where you got the quest.
Hmm.
So that's probably the biggest fault of the game, and if that's the biggest fault of the game, that's a pretty good job.
Yeah, I had a little trouble with the map. I felt the map was a little difficult to use. Controls were small and sort of hidden. And I would have liked to have been able to add a player waypoint. So like I know where I want to go, or like if I go down a branching path, I want to be able to set where that branching path is so I can go back and navigate it easily.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, in that regard, the game did feel a little bit linear. Uh, but that's probably going to be a lot of people's complaint. But it follows a similar story to the original, so you can only branch out so much.
Right. This first iteration of this remake is more of an extrapolation of the Midgar section than it is a new telling.
Hmm.